Stop right there and do not turn away from this moment, because the words I am about to speak into your life are not merely suggestions. They are the governing principles that will determine whether your future is a monument of success or a wreckage of regret. I am here to challenge the very foundation of everything you have been taught about the most critical decision of your existence. We are going to dismantle the romantic delusions that have paralyzed the generation. And I guarantee you that by the time we are finished, you will never look at a relationship through the eyes of a child again. I want you to visualize yourself standing at the edge of a jagged, terrifying cliff. Below you is a vast, churning ocean, and you are preparing to dive into the deep. But here's the crisis. You cannot see the bottom. You have no map of the hidden currents. You have no idea if the impact will shatter your bones or if you will be swallowed by the abyss. Yet, this is exactly what millions of people do every single day when they leap into a marriage based on nothing but the intoxication of being in love. They are leaping into the unknown without a blueprint, without a strategy, and without a clear understanding of the original intent of the institution they are entering. Let me be absolutely clear from the outset. I am not here to crush your romantic dreams or to turn you into a cold, cynical machine. I am not here to tell you that affection is irrelevant. What I am here to do is wake you up to a truth that could save you from decades of heartbreak, financial ruin, emotional devastation, and the kind of soul-eating regret that keeps you awake at 3 o'clock in the morning wondering where your life went. The truth that the world is afraid to tell you is this: love is not enough. Love has never been enough. And if you marry someone purely because you are drunk on the chemical cocktail of attraction, you are signing a contract for your own destruction. I know what you are thinking. Your ego is rising up right now, telling you that your situation is special, that your bond is different, and that I don't know the depth of what you feel. But I want you to look past your feelings and look at the statistics of a failing society. We live in a world where 50% of marriages end in legal divorce, and another 30% exist as silent, emotional prisons where couples wake up next to strangers they can barely tolerate. If love was the answer, why are we failing at an astronomical rate? The answer is that we have confused temporary biological reactions for permanent spiritual and practical compatibility. You must understand that marriage is not an invention of man. It is a divine institution designed for the management of destiny. But you cannot manage a destiny based on a feeling. Feelings are the most unstable foundation in the universe. They change with the weather, they shift with your mood, and they fade with time. Yet, people are trying to build 50-year legacies on the shifting sands of how they feel on a Tuesday night. When you build a house, you do not start with the curtains and the wallpaper. You start with the foundation. You start with the structural integrity of the beams. You start with the plumbing and the electrical systems. But in our modern approach to marriage, we are trying to build the entire house on decoration. We are obsessed with the wedding, but we are ignorant of the marriage. We are in love with the idea of being in love, but we have no respect for the covenant of partnership. You must realize that those feelings you experience during the initial stages of a relationship are not love, they are infatuation. It is a biological trick designed to encourage pair bonding. Your brain is literally flooded with dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. You are under the influence of a drug. And you should never make a lifelong legal and spiritual commitment while you are high on the drug of infatuation. This honeymoon phase is the most dangerous period of your life because it creates an illusion of perfect compatibility. You think you have found your soulmate because you enjoy the same movies or because the conversation flows easily. But those are surface level ornaments. You are blinded by the chemical high, so you ignore the red flags. You ignore the fact that your partner has no financial discipline. You ignore the fact that they handle conflict with aggression or silence. You ignore the fact that their vision for the future is the polar opposite of yours. You think, but I love them, and love will change them. Let me tell you right now, marriage does not change people, it reveals them. Marriage is a giant magnifying glass that takes every small crack in your character and turns it into a canyon. If you marry a person who is irresponsible with money because you love them, you aren't just marrying a person, you are marrying a lifetime of debt and anxiety. If you marry someone who doesn't share your core values because the chemistry is fire, you are inviting a civil war into your own home. True love, mature love, and sustainable love is not something you fall into. It is something you grow into with a partner who is functionally compatible with your assignment on this earth. You must look past the fireworks and audit the pillars of the relationship. The first pillar is values alignment. I am not talking about whether you both like dogs. I am talking about the fundamental principles that govern how a person lives. What is their relationship with truth? What is their philosophy on wealth? How do they view the roles of a man and a woman in a household? What is their relationship with their Creator? You cannot love someone into having different core values. Values are the original intent of a person's character. If you value growth and they value comfort, you will eventually resent each other. If you value sacrifice for the sake of the children and they value self-indulgence, the household will collapse. You must ensure that you are heading in the same direction before you tie your lives together, because a house divided against itself cannot stand. The second pillar is lifestyle compatibility. Marriage is not a series of candlelit dinners. It is the coordination of 10,000 ordinary days. It is about who does the dishes, how the bed is made, how the weekends are spent, and how the bank account is managed. It is about your energy levels, your cleanliness standards, and your social needs. If you are a social butterfly who thrives on being around people and you marry a deep introvert who needs 3 days of silence to recover from a party, you are creating a recipe for constant friction. These might seem like small things when you are kissing in the rain, but after 5 years of living in the same space, they become the walls of a prison. You must find someone whose daily rhythm harmonizes with yours. You are looking for a partner, not a project. You are looking for someone whose presence makes your life more efficient, not more complicated. The third pillar is communication governance. This is the infrastructure of the relationship. How do you handle the uncomfortable? When the money is tight, when the kids are sick, or when a mistake is made, how do you speak to each other? If your partner shuts down and uses silence as a weapon, or if they explode and use words as a fire, the relationship has no future. You cannot build a kingdom with someone who lacks the emotional intelligence to resolve conflict without destruction. Communication is the bridge between two souls. If the bridge is broken, the souls will eventually live on separate islands, even if they share the same bed. You must marry someone you genuinely like as a person. Liking someone is more important than loving them, because liking requires that you see them clearly, their flaws, their quirks, their history, and you still enjoy their company. You should be able to sit in a room in total silence with this person and still feel at peace. If you need constant excitement and romance to feel connected, you don't have a marriage, you have an entertainment contract. We must also address the role of physical attraction. Our culture has made it the god of the relationship, but in the hierarchy of a successful marriage, it is the servant, not the master. Of course, you should be attracted to your partner, but understand that bodies change. Gravity is a law that no one escapes. Skin will wrinkle, hair will gray, and the physical form will evolve. If your entire commitment is based on how they look in their 20s, what will you have left when they are 70? If there is no character underneath the skin, if there is no shared purpose, then the relationship will expire when the beauty does. Real attraction is born out of respect for a person's spirit and mind. When you respect a person's character, they become more beautiful to you every year, not less. I want you to think about the concept of growing together versus growing apart. Every human being is a work in progress. You are not the same person you were 5 years ago, and you won't be the same person 5 years from now. The question is, are you growing in the same direction? If you are committed to personal development, to learning, and to expanding your capacity, but your partner is content to stay exactly where they are, the gap between you will eventually become a chasm. You must marry someone who is committed to the same level of evolution as you are. You need a partner who will challenge you, who will sharpen you like iron sharpens iron, and who will not let you settle for mediocrity. Let me give you a perspective that will shake you. In many ancient and highly successful cultures, marriages were not left to the whims of teenagers in love. They were arranged based on practicalities, ancestry, character, work ethic, and financial compatibility. And these marriages often produce deeper, more lasting love than our modern romance first models. Why? Because they started with the foundation. They ensured the two people were heading in the same direction first, and then they allowed the affection to grow from the security of the partnership. I am telling you to be the arranger of your own life. Use your mind to audit the candidate. Reverse the order. Find someone you are functionally compatible with, someone whose character is impeccable, and someone whose life vision mirrors your own, and then, and only then, give them your heart. Marriage is a legal, spiritual, and financial covenant. It is the most serious management contract you will ever sign. You are choosing the person who will influence your children, the person who will manage your assets, and the person who will be by your side when you face the greatest trials of your life. Do not choose that person based on a feeling that can be triggered by a good song or a nice outfit. Choose them based on the weight of their soul. Choose them based on the alignment of their values. Choose them based on their ability to lead and be led. If you build your house on the rock of compatibility and original intent, the storms will come, the winds will blow, and the rain will fall, but your house will stand. But if you build it on the sand of love alone, the fall of that house will be great. The time for reactive living is over. You were not created to be a victim of your own chemicals. You were created for dominion, and that includes dominion over your heart. If you are ready to stop building your future on feelings and start building it on the solid rock of purpose and compatibility, I want you to declare your authority right now. Go to the comments and type, "I choose wisdom over feelings." Let this be the day you raise the standard for who is allowed to enter the sanctuary of your life. Like this video if you are choosing a foundation over a decoration, and subscribe to this channel as we continue to unlock the original intent for your leadership and legacy. Your destiny is too valuable to be left to the chance of a feeling. Build on the rock. Start today.